Good evening, dear friends. Good evening, dear friends. Good evening, dear friends. We meet again all together, holding hands. I would like us all to just do a prayer of love and light for everyone, and in particular for a very special soul that left us on the 8th of February. And none of the mainstream news have made honor to this person. Some of you know about him. It's the Professor Montagnier. Montagnier discovered the AIDS virus, and when he was doing the discovery, they called him crazy, deranged, all kind of things, and then he was right and he won the Nobel Prize. And the reason why nobody wants to talk to him about now is because he has turned up very fiercely and strongly against all this poisoning campaigns, and he showed that the poison is 99.9% man-made. So they said that he was crazy, and so when he died on the 8th of February, there was no mention of him. There have been some mention of him recently now, but they are smearing him, saying that he got the Nobel Prize, and then with all of his affirmations about the poison, that he was crazy. Blessings to all of you, blessings to all of you, blessings to all of you. So I hope that you're all okay. Thank you for joining. So, I thought it was very important to talk about Montagnier because it is always important to be a contrarian and to go on your path, and this is how he was able to help humanity. They had to rewrite the books on biology and biochemistry because of him. So, also it gives you an idea who are these people who are ruling us now. If they are nasty enough that such great people who got Nobel Prizes and so on can be smeared, it shows you that we are not in a democracy. No. And if you still think that there's a democracy going on in the world, you are still, unfortunately, in denial. So, love to him, peace be to his soul, may he reincarnate in a good place. Now, talking about foods, the reason why I wanted to discuss with you about foods today is because the same evil people who smeared this great scientist, they have a program. They want us to eat artificial meat. As you know, Mr. Bill Gates has two massive factories in the States where they're doing artificial meat. And in one of the interviews, he was asked if he's going to make more because of the poison or more because of Microsoft. And he said no, because of the artificial foods that he's making. So immediately I started seeing in different newspapers in different countries, scientists or pseudoscientists or journalists saying, oh, we should study maybe the human species should not be eating meat. Why do we eat meat and things like that? So it's a direct attack on that. And the mayor of New York imposed for the federal employees every Friday, I think, or for the school children to eat 100% vegetarian. Now, I have nothing against any of that. So again, I'm not against people being vegetarian or non-vegetarian. I'm against the imposition. I'm against somebody coming to you and saying to you, this is how you eat and you have no choice. And that I'm against. Yeah. So this is very, very dangerous kind of thing, So first I'll apply, if you want, a kind of a biochemical, medical, scientific background to this analysis, and then we're going to go into the emotional component of the food that you eat and the spiritual component. So at any time, feel free to ask questions, to interject, or to comment. First of all, you probably know about the study that was done by a doctor in the 60s. I forgot his lovely name, but he identified that we have blood types. So, the ones of us who are like nomads, who are more like O, and the ones of us O type, O plus, O minus, and the ones of us who were more like, in the agricultural kind of, sedentary farmers were more like A. And then you have a B type, which can eat also both things, meat and non-meat products. And then you have AB, so you have O, AB, and A. The O type who are the nomads, and the nomads were eating mainly meat. So today the O type on the planet are the majority, and they are 43%. All the other types are much smaller. Now the A type, which are the agrarians, they are around 20 to 30%. So again, you have somebody who wants to impose on the majority how they should be eating, irrelevant of their blood type or irrelevant of any other thing. So, and there's crazy things happening in the world. For example, in India, I think 40% of the population are B type, B plus, if I'm not mistaken. And B need to eat meat. And the poor Indians don't eat meat. They told them it's a bad thing. So they are constantly undernourished, yeah? So a population which is constantly undernourished, you know? In Chinese time and Mao time in the communism, when they had people who were rebelling against the communistic China, they were actually taking them to camps and giving them only rice. And with this only rice type of food, people will become very controllable. So you don't want anybody imposing on you a way of eating, and you don't want anybody imposing on you what you can eat and what is available. This is very important. And the way they do it is they get this pseudoscientists, they put articles in newspaper, you know, should humans eat meat? Are we made for eating meat? And this kind of stupid question, really. Because if you look at the blood type, for sure we are eating meat. If you take all the O's and all the ABs and Bs, there are more than 80, maybe around 80% of population that need it for their blood type. Okay, so you can argue with the blood type, but this is the main thing that's available today to tell, you know, why our ancestors ate this thing, how genetically we're predisposed to eat this thing. That's very, very important, you know, that's very, very important. So the second thing that you need to know, we need to eat from everything, and you need to listen to your body. If today your body tell you not eat meat, don't eat meat. If today your body tell you eat meat, eat meat. If today your body tells you I feel like dairy, eat dairy. If you don't feel like it, don't eat it. A friend of mine was breastfeeding, and the milk was not feeding the baby. And this friend is vegetarian, and you know, I told her, other people told her, come on, eat a bit of egg, a bit of fish, and so on. And when she started eating a bit of everything, then the milk was okay and fed the baby. That tells you that we are made to eat everything. A bit of everything in moderation. Yeah, you see. This is our nature. And don't let anybody try to change your nature. They are trying to create some humans that they control with a chip, calling them transhumans, and what they're going to give us to eat and not to eat. We don't want that. And they're betting big money on that. I think Gates invested around 2 or 400 million for each factory for making this artificial meats in the States. You can check it already, it's up and going. Everything I tell you, by the way, just check it. Now, so this is about the kind of physical, chemical part about this eating business. If you have any comments on it or what, you know, feel free to share. Feel free to share. Now, I will talk to you a little bit more about the emotional and spiritual components of the food. So, when I was with the African healers in South Africa, and we were doing healing work in a place, after the work, we all felt extremely hungry and we had to go eat some meat. And I asked the healers why it was that we all felt that. They said that because when you're doing this healing work, this energy work, it's like you're going a bit out of your body and you need to ground yourself. And meat is what grounds you. So all the people working in energy and energy healing, you need to eat meat to ground you. Yeah. And the same way that you don't want to be ungrounded, you know, the use of alcohol and the use of marijuana, all of these things gets you out of your body. When you're out of your body, you're not in your body, and we want you to be inside your body. You are very able to be a spiritual being and an energy being and meditate and go all over the world without taking yourself out of your body, you know. So while alcohol and marijuana and all these things have ungrounding effects, meat has a grounding effect. So we will go later in what type of meat and how do you prepare that meat to eat it, because there's a protocol for all of this. The same is about dairy, you know, the milk from the cow, the milk from the sheep. It seems that this milk that we take from the cow or from the sheep and we eat it as a cheese or yogurt, it's like a connection with our creator. is like a communion with our Creator. You know, in the churches, they still have that you can go and have a communion with a piece of bread. When you are eating dairy, you are making communion with Creator. That's why dairy is very, very important. And always, when I am analyzing somebody's emotional, physical, and spiritual construct, I'm asking all these questions. So if I get an answer that they never eat meat and they never eat dairy, I know that the person has a high chance of being very ungrounded. When you are ungrounded, what happens? What is the main problem of being ungrounded? What is the main problem if you are not in your physical body? You are partially in your physical body, else you'll be dead. But when you're not grounded, when you're not present, you know, what is it that you're not grounded and present to? You know, your being is gallivanting somewhere. So, what does this groundedness and this presence help you to do? This is a question for you guys and girls. And then Roxanne is saying, strangely, I often feel the urge for chicken bone broth, but not necessarily the actual chicken meat, only occasionally. Few meats I like, but sometimes I will utterly crave beef. All meat I buy is organic. Very good. Roxanne says, demons and entities can enter your body if left unguarded. That is true. And Brion Soleil says, many entities can enter your body. Very good. Very good. We're going to go in there. So the main thing, well done to Roxanne and well done to Brion Soleil. Both of you, give you a heart because you got it. Yeah. When you are not present in your body, all these entities enter. And when you are not present into your body, you do not feel your repressed emotions. Whenever conducting healing journey with a patient, yeah, I don't see to heal a patient or a client. It's a journey, you know. When you go on a road, you don't have a particular destination except that you go on the road. It's your journey. So on this journey of healing, the first thing I identify with my client or my customer is what is the overall composition of his psyche, his emotional system, his physical system, his shamanic system, all of them together. What is happening? And typically, when there are so many foods that you have a problem with, that means that your aura is penetrated very badly by different areas. When your aura is penetrated in different areas, your immune system is low. And when your immune system is low, there are many foods that you cannot ingest. This is the first point. The second point is absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. What about animal suffering? Every time that you eat meat, you have to bless the food. Sometime I can be there for a couple of minutes. First of all, if the animal suffered, asking for forgiveness and purifying it. Second of all, asking for forgiveness if somebody slaughtered this animal in the wrong way. And third of all, if there are any poisons or toxins in this animal, that my body will not be damaged by it. And it makes a huge difference. And the energy that you put in the food by doing that is not a joke. But obviously, you have to be present. If you are completely lightheaded and ungrounded and you do a prayer on your food, it's gonna do nothing. The same as your word. If your word is not purified, when you say something, it's not energy anymore. You know, when people just go around and they insult and they say rude words and bad things, and they don't mean them, their word loses its power. So when you are praying on something, start watching what you say and what you talk every day, because your word is your power. But if you use your word in the wrong way every day, the energy of your word becomes very weak. So you're somebody who's very ungrounded and you just use words, it's not going to work for you. You have to ground yourself first. The energy in the food is so important that when a mother is making food for her baby, if you, me, or anybody else would come and mix the same food next to the mother under her supervision with the same amounts, the child will be able to know the difference who made what. Why? Because the mother is mixing the energy of love in this food. So absolutely, Paul, whenever you're eating anything, whenever it is like meat or it is not meat, you have to mix this. I hope it is. When your body, when your aura is penetrated in different places, you cannot deal with many foods. The aura is penetrated in different places for two reasons. As most of you know by now, the two reasons that you have any issue in your life is repressed emotion and karma. We work with a person to identify what are the repressed emotions from childhood and what is the karma this person is carrying that needs to heal. And as this is healed, then your aura starts to close down and you can eat many different foods. You know, sometimes we're not able to do a full healing in this lifetime, but for sure, all the people who work with me consistently got to the result of improving their life. And we always fall back on two main issues. One is karma and one is repressed emotion. When I was in India working with the people who work with the Indian Vedic medicine and the Ayurveda, I was shocked that they had customers and even doctors coming from America, and they were teaching them Ayurveda. But do you know what they were forgetting to teach them? And it's the essence of Ayurveda. I saw it with my own eyes. I was in Rishikesh in that institute. Do you know what is the main thing that they have forgotten to teach the people? Do you know? I wait for your response. I don't belong to any religion, but I read all the sacred books. And all the sacred books have information. In all the sacred books, they talk about the honey and the yogurt from the Lebanon. It is in the Bible, the oldest book. When I feel that people are bitter in their lives and they're not happy and they are cranky with everything, I get them sometimes to eat a bit of yogurt and honey. And I discover that they don't like yogurt and they don't like honey. So I prescribe this to them and their nature improves, they become softer. So the dairy products are made for us to find back our way. Now, unfortunately, as you say, all the meats and all the dairies and even all the greens are full of chemical shit. What to do? We try as much as we can to eat organic. We try as much as we can to have our own plantation with our own vegetables. We have to. Thank you. Not humility. Karma. Karma. I went to the teachers of these Ayurvedic centers in Rishikesh, and I stayed with them, and I spent the whole day. And then I went to the teacher there, the doctor there. I said to him, "Do you deny that karma is the number one thing that has to be taught in Ayurveda?" And he said no. And I said to him, "So you had today 3 American doctors coming here to study with you, like normal general doctors from the States came all the way to India to study with him because he's a non guy." I said, "You did not teach them about karma.